News First, Newsline Prime with Faraz Shaukat Ali.
And a very good evening to you and welcome to Newsline Prime. Live as always from the Newsfirst studios in Dorset Street in Colombo. So much is happening and so much is not happening. And especially to discuss matters concerning the regular supply of power, we've got with us here Mr. Sulakshana Jayawardena, who is from the Ministry of Power and Energy and is the Director of Development. And he's right here. Very good evening to you, Mr. Jayawardena.
Good evening, Mr. Faraz.
I hope I got your title right.
Yes, of course.
Thank you. Thank you. The question that most people have on their minds is, why is it that amongst everything else that's not happening and the rising cost of living and all that business, why is it that we are having a problem with our power supply?
Okay, let me put this way. Now, if we consider about the generation system of Sri Lanka,
Yeah.
of course, we do have hydropower plants,
Yeah.
large scale more than 1350 megawatt.
Yeah.
Then small scale hydropower plants are there,
Yeah.
more than 380 megawatts.
Yeah.
And of course, we do have 900 megawatt of coal power plant.
Yeah.
And another renewables more than 200 megawatts, including solar and solar rooftops,
Yeah.
balanced from other thermals.
Right.
That means altogether it comes 4,000, approximately 4,100 megawatts.
Right.
So we are supposed to provide, that is our policy,
Yeah.
ministry policy, CEB policy, government policy, uninterrupted power supply to the country.
Yes, but we don't have uninterrupted power supply.
Yes, when it comes to the practical situation, there are some challenges, especially during the period of January to April.
Okay.
Because we know that we have experienced this kind of weather even last couple of years.
Yeah.
We had same challenges.
Yeah.
And we faced those challenges even during the previous years.
Yeah.
But this year, little bit difficult or the different.
Why?
It is basically, if you consider about the weather condition prevailing in the country, especially the month of March.
Yeah.
This time, the weather condition is very warm, then less rain and dry. And due to this reason, most of the consumers, they use ACs, fans, of course, to get rid of
But
this.
what is our consumption?
Consumption, of course, when it comes to consumption, if you consider about the normal consumption, it is approximately, the daily demand is 40 gigawatt hours.
40.
Approximately 40 gigawatt hours.
Yeah.
Average temperature, average
But
climate.
you're supplying how many?
No, let me explain this way. Now, gigawatt hours, you can't get a real picture.
Right, okay.
Okay, now, the easiest way is to get the idea from the installed capacity.
Yes.
We do have, if you consider about the daily demand pattern or the curve, demand curve, there are two peaks.
Right.
During the day peak and night peak.
Right.
Night peak is a shorter one, shorter in the sense it is approximately 2 to 3 hours.
Okay.
But day peak, of course, you will.
Longer.
Yes, it is longer
Okay.
one.
But how much is your installed capacity?
Installed capacity, as I explained, is approximately 4,100
Right.
megawatt.
Okay.
The day demand, the maximum peak is these days it is 2,300 megawatt.
So technically,
Technically and
You have-
mathematically, yes.
mathematically, we should have no power.
Exactly,
plants.
yes.
So why are we having that?
Now, as I explained, out of this 4,100 megawatt,
Yeah.
1,350 megawatt is large scale hydro,
Yeah.
and another 380 megawatt is small scale hydro.
Yeah.
Due to the dry weather condition, lack of rain and less rain, these two type of power plants
Yeah.
get affected.
Right.
That means you can't generate electricity from these two types of power plant as you planned
Right.
during the dry season, especially the period of January to April.
Right.
So there are 6 major reservoirs which we use to get the water for hydropower generation.
Right.
Kasalri, Mausakale, Kotmale, Victoria, then Randanigal and Samala.
So are you saying, Mr. Jawardena, that when we look at the large scale and the small end hydro,
Yes.
that these are not supplying right now because of the lack of water?
Exactly.
Are you saying, so how much of this 1,000, say 700 megawatts is?
Yeah, now
is that?
if you consider about the daily demand, I mean the contribution of the hydropower is these days, today it is approximately 10%
Right.
out of the daily demand.
Right.
And thermal is the largest contributor. It is more than 85 to 80, approximately 90.
Right.
Because we are getting only 1 to 2% from solar and wind.
Right.
So balance from thermal. That means more than 88% from the thermal power plants,
Right.
including coal.
Yeah.
So when it comes to the generation, due to dry weather condition, we can't run our hydropower plant as planned, because you know that some of the reservoirs
Yeah.
we use to provide drinking water, then irrigation and the
Yeah.
agricultural works. Those are the topmost priorities.
Yeah.
Then the electricity.
But how much are they now supplying the hydro combined?
Hydro, of course, if you consider about the today's figures,
Yeah.
it is approximately 4.3 gigawatt hours from
Right.
hydro.
Right.
Okay? Now, if you consider about the inflow,
Yeah.
inflow is less than 2 gigawatt hours. Inflow in the sense that the water flow coming to the reservoirs.
Okay.
It is less than 2. So,
Right.
when we use hydro to generate electricity, water levels of the reservoirs going down. So, if we use only for the hydro generation, then you will be facing difficulties in future to provide drinking water and also irrigation and agricultural works. So because now yellow season will be starting by April,
Yeah.
so Mahavali authority, they want to keep the water to provide the water to agricultural works.
Yeah.
So we can't use the water in the reservoirs only for the hydropower.
Okay. I see.
We have to manage the water remain in the reservoirs.
So right now you're sort of laying the blame on the weather and the lack of water, but
Yes.
There's a big gap between what is the installed capacity and the use,
Yes.
the demand.
Yeah.
But you've not mentioned anything about that favorite word of everybody, which is Noracholi. Why we've told that the number 2 engine was down and so on and so forth?
Yes. In fact, we had a situation because of the technical fault.
Yeah.
The number 2 unit was shut down.
Right.
Automatically shut down.
Right.
And CBA officials, engineers, they were able to bring it back to the operation within 2 days.
Right. But how long does it then take for the engine to restart and reach its capacity?
Within 2 days.
Okay.
Okay, so now Noracholi is the largest power plant available in Sri Lanka.
So you're saying that Noracholi is back on
yes.
at its full?
At its full in the sense, 2 unit, second unit and third unit, yes.
Okay.
First unit, of course, it is running at 220 megawatts.
So it's not doing 300?
No.
Okay. The other two are doing 300?
Yes.
The 220 is because of a technical issue?
Technical issue.
Okay. So, you're getting what? 6, about 820?
In fact, part of the electricity generated from the power plants, they are using those as auxiliary power.
Ah.
So you can't get 800
Okay.
from the power plant. Even the installed capacity is 300. You can get only 270 megawatt.
Okay. Right.
So balance used as a auxiliary power for the run the power plant for their its own
So
machineries.
anyway, if they were all working fine, you'd get about 810.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And it's not now.
Not now.
And how long has this number 1 been only supplying 220?
It is few months. approximately 4 months.
Why Mr. Jawad, is it taking so long to fix the problem?
Yes, because now as I explained, now we do have power plants like hydro, thermal. All we have to maintain properly.
Yeah.
We have to do a scheduled maintenance in time. But sometimes you can't release the power plant to do the maintenance or this kind of repair, because if you have no enough capacity to do that, you have to keep the power plant and run the power plant to generate electricity as the possible.
Right. We'll come right back to this very important explanation. We've got a breaking news coming up, so we'll take a short break while the breaking news goes on. Don't go away. Remember, this is Newsline Prime, and we've got some very exciting stuff to tell you all about. We'll be right back with you after the break.
News First, Newsline Prime with Faraz Shaukat Ali.
And welcome back to Newsline Prime, where after that breaking news, in case you missed it, it is that the United Nations, the resolution has been carried forward without a vote. More details, of course, on the 9 o'clock news in a short while on TV1. Now then, Mr. Jayawardena, we were talking about power and so on. There are a lot of people who say and who think that all these power cuts, however technical the explanation may be, that this is all a bit of a scam, and that actually there is a collateral purpose behind all this, and that is an attempt, a cynical attempt to purchase emergency power. How true is that? Is there any form of truth in that?
No, in fact, in February, CB requested to get 170 megawatt of additional power, supplementary power to the system, according to the forecast done by them at that time.
Yeah.
And we floated tender to get 100 megawatt as a supplementary power, because according to the forecast, we knew that there may be shortage of power during the upcoming months, like February, March, April.
Why is that? Why did you know that? Is that because you all were not very confident about the delivery of the Norchole power plant?
Not is the reason of Norchole. Norchole, we had confidence on Norchole operation.
Ah, okay.
But the situation is because of the hydropower. We knew that there would be much rain during the months of February, March and April.
Right.
And according to forecast, even forecast
So what are you saying, Mr. Jawad? What is the shortage? How much is the shortage?
Shortage
right
in the sense that, as I explained, now the demand, as I told you, demand is during the day peak, it is more than 2,300 megawatt.
Right.
Now we have, if you consider the thermal power, it is approximately 1,800 megawatt.
Right. So you got
those are
500 more.
firm power, 1,800 megawatt.
Right.
So the balance we are supposed to get it from hydro.
Okay.
Hydro or other renewables, other in the sense wind and solar. But sometimes we can't get the energy from wind.
Sorry, say that again. How from the total?
From the total now 4,100 megawatt.
Yeah.
1,800 from the including the coal.
Yeah.
1,800
Coal and?
Coal, other thermals.
Okay.
Other thermals in the sense diesel, heavy fuel, naphtha. There are few type of fuels, power plants.
Okay.
So those are the power plants we can rely in the sense readily available.
Right.
Hydro, of course, there may be certain constraints during the dry weather condition, as I told, because there are other priorities, other things, high priorities, priority areas. So we are supposed to provide water for those priorities.
Yeah.
So there may be some difficulties, constraints on hydropower generation. So to fill the gap now 1800 megawatt and certain power plants we can run like Castle, Mausa, Calais, those reservoirs we can use water to run the power plants, but still there are some constraints on over those reservoirs.
Yeah.
Because we are supposed to give the water to Ampatale pump storage,
Right.
the water pump.
Yeah.
So water purification plant. So with that constraints, CB forecasted that they need at least 170 megawatt of supplementary power.
Right. And did you do that? Did you check
Yes,
that out?
we floated the tender.
Yeah.
But after the opening of the tender, it
Yeah.
was noted that it is, expensive.
Right. Okay.
So we thought to manage it with the existing power plants
Right.
and other capacities like other renewables. But we couldn't get the 100 megawatt
Yeah.
because of this sort of expensive. And we plan to provide the electricity with the existing capacity. But with the issues of Norachole and other certain power plants like thermal power plants, some of the thermal power plants were broken. And the technical and other sort of mechanical issues. With those difficulties, now we are facing a lot of challenges in terms of
So now we find
uninterrupted power supply.
So now, Mr. Jawad, what you're saying is that, in spite of you all didn't take the proposals for emergency power, supplementary power, and you all looked at the hydro. Then on top of that, there's not enough water to run it to its full capacity.
Yes.
And on top of all that, engine number 1 is still not functioning properly.
In full capacity.
So that's basically what it is.
Yes.
Will you all be purchasing more supplementary power on an emergency basis?
Now, in fact, Board of Management of CEB, they approved to implement the self-generation scheme. That means there are a number of power generators available with bulk customers.
Right.
So now our plan, this is basically short-term measure to face this challenge. So we plan to ask or request them to use their generators to meet their demand. We will measure the amount of the electricity that they generate from their generators, and we are going to make the payment for them. Last year also we implement this kind of program to get them into the electricity generation, because they have enough capacities in terms of generators.
Yes.
So we plan to get them into the electricity generation and to get their support to meet this or face this challenge and provide uninterrupted electricity for the other customers like domestic and other industries and other customers who have no generators. So if we can bring them, because there are more than approximately 300 megawatt of generators with them.
Right.
One
So
megawatt,
you're
like
letting
100
them use
kilowatt.
that?
Sorry, yes.
You're going to let them use that?
Yes, let them use to use those generators to get meet their demand.
Right. Okay.
And we metered it, and we will make the payment for them.
I see. We're coming to towards the end of our program. Tragically cut short because of the UN breaking news, but still, I'll just take one question that a viewer has sent. Have the reservoirs been drained, as is claimed by some trade unions, to make a case for power purchases from the private sector?
No.
No.
My direct answer and
Is no.
straightforward answer is no.
Right.
Because normally the CB, they use hydro, the water in the reservoirs. They can't make decisions to drain reservoirs as they want.
As they want, okay.
Yeah.
So there's a process.
Yes.
We've got another question coming up here, but I think it's quite relevant. What plans have you got to fast track the net metering system where people will use solar and
yes.
then and if you give them a credit for the
now
for the excess?
the solar Suryabala Sangrame, that program name is Suryabala Sangrame. We implemented it or we introduced it in 2016. If you consider about that, it is now we able to connect more than 150 megawatt of solar rooftop systems to the system. So now net metering, there are three concepts: net metering, net accounting and net plus. These are the three concepts. So we very recently we got a loan from ADB, American dollar million, 50 American dollar million. So now we are providing loans for the customers through 10 banks, including government banks and commercial banks. And also we are regulating the service providers, their service, and
I see.
they regulate. They are supposed to register with the Sustainable Energy Authority. They monitor it, and and also we introduce standards for solar rooftop systems, inverters, panels, and certain standards. They are supposed to.
We're unfortunately coming to the end of our time, even with the 5-minute extension. It's patently not enough, but anyway, how about telling us whether, once and for all, hopefully you can give us an answer somebody's asking, is it true that the Noracholi power plant equipment was low standard, pre-owned or second-hand machinery, and that was ordered and that was then sold on to the government at a high price?
No. Let me explain this. Just give me 1 minute.
Yes.
When it comes to the power plant, we basically consider the quality of the plant with the availability of the power plant. If you consider about the Noracholi power plant, there are 3 units. So basically the availability of the power plant is more than 85%.
Right.
That is accepted level, except Unit 1.
Yeah.
Unit 1, of course.
So the others you expect it to deliver at 85%
availability of the power plant is more than 85%.
Yeah.
That is worldwide. It is international level. If you consider international level, that is
that's the standard.
good standard. The good level.
And and how much does Noracholi supply?
Supply, of course.
Does it meet the 85%?
85 availability of the power plant.
Yes, but is it new equipment or was it used?
No, it is new equipment.
100% sure.
Yes.
And your engineers have inspected?
Yes, they have certified, they have confirmed, they visit the manufacturing
and is there
sites
anything like SGS or anybody like that who backed it all up? It is. Excellent. Well, when will these power cuts finish? It's it sounds a bit backward to wait for rain.
No, I am not telling that. Yeah. Now, as I told, we are going to get the short-term measures like self-generation scheme, and also we requested and we are going to implement the aggressive demand-side management program to get the support from the customers, because we know that they are also facing difficulties. They have faced the difficulties. So anyway, we need support from the customers to face this challenge. We are implementing a lot of short-term programs, short-term initiatives to meet this challenge, face this challenge, but still we are going to implement aggressive demand-side program, management program to get the customer support. Hopefully, our policy, the ministry policy, CB policy is not to without any interruption, provide continuous, uninterrupted power supply, quality power supply for the customers. So
I think that's a basic human right these days.
Exactly, yes. We believe that it is a human right, and we are supposed to provide the electricity without any interruptions. So hopefully we will be able to do it with this short term, and even we are now going to connect the 50 megawatt of 1 megawatt each, 50 numbers of generators belongs to CB2 system to get their service to meet the demand.
All right, Mrs. Lakshmi Jawardna, thank you very much for being on our program. I do hope that you'll join us on our longer program, which is on Monday night,
Sure.
Which is Face the Nation. Okay. It's 2.5 hours, and hopefully this is an important matter, okay, and we can ask you more detailed questions. But I do appreciate the time, and I do hope that we'll all get our power going regularly and properly, because it's one human right that we simply must make sure is not broken. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much.
And that's the way it was on Newsline Prime this evening. Thank you very much for tuning in, and we hope that you have an excellent evening ahead of you. Take care, and God bless.
Newsfirst, Newsline Prime with Faraz Shaukat Ali.